Good afternoon, collectors. Welcome to Leighton's Loft. You are joined by myself and Lou. And who is that? J5?
Yes, it is. Hello, everyone.
It says Dougie Fresh, but it's J5.
Yeah, it's okay.
So thanks to everyone who makes the show possible. And the real star of the show is here today. I guess I'll creep up here so you can at least see my face. J5 is here, and we wanted him to talk about something with Vintage Breaks in just 1 second. What's up, Ken from the Great White North? What up, Kev, Connor, Sean, Ernie, and the rest of the gang? Russ, it looks like you're on the Vintage Breaks Facebook page, but I could be wrong. I think you're on Vintage Breaks Facebook page along with Cuff Daddy. Tom, Chris on YouTube. Oh yeah, Cuff Daddy's still my favorite name, I think, right now in the hobby.
Now you're the Shadow now. Tom says J5 Lou in the Shadow.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've always wanted to be I like it, Todd. I've always wanted to be, out of the light, and now I'm permanently am. This is just my new complexion. So Lou, I think what you got going on behind you.
Yep.
How do you feel about the big W in the Super Bowl for Mr. Brady and the Bucs?
It's funny. I went into the Super Bowl not really wanting him to win, not rooting against him, but I'd have been happy. As someone put it up here, it's like going to your ex-girlfriend's wedding, You want everything to go well and her to be happy, but you wouldn't mind if the cake hit the floor either, right? That's the way it is. But going in, I had so many arguments about Brady being the GOAT. On Sirius, we did 2 days of it, and it's just like I am so happy that I get the chance to just say, can we end the whole GOAT discussion right now? It's done, right? We can move on.
Yeah, I think that is pretty much over. I don't like him any more than I did 1 week ago, Lou.
Fair enough.
And to be fair, I'm not going to compare Tom Brady to Babe Ruth. I don't do that. I don't cross points. Tom Brady was better than Babe Ruth. I don't do that in my own mind. What I say in my own mind now is there's no effing debate that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And honestly, I don't know that, forget about his career being over, I don't know if he's done winning a Super Bowl.
He may not be.
Which is sick. Which is just sick.
Yep. I know. Potentially 11 Super Bowls and 8 wins. I mean, can you possibly imagine?
Unbelievable. So, I'm with you, Lou. I would say that I wasn't really rooting for or against, but I've realized that my strong distaste is for Belichick. And then in terms of Brady, my distaste for Brady just stems from he's so good.
Yeah.
Where it's different for Belichick. I think Belichick's a great coach, but I still don't like him.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
So
yeah, and Brady, I don't like Brady more than I did last week either. In fact, the last 2 or 3 years, I have my issues with Brady. I have my issues with his last couple of years in New England. I have my issues with the way he left. I have the issues with 2019. There was a lot of lying going on up here. I'm not going to go to OTAs because I'm older now and I want to spend time with my kids. Then he goes to Tampa and he's practicing with the team in a park during COVID. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, listen, it's very clear to me, Lou, that although there's plenty of people in the NFL, coaches, players alike, that love being there, it's a business.
Yep.
And you don't have to like it. You don't have to hate it. It just is. But it's very obviously a business. And, nonetheless, congratulations to Tom Brady and the Bucs. And even though I don't think he did a great job for the Jets when he was here, really, congratulations to Todd Bowles. The guy was like an undersung hero of the Bucs, like one of the quietest defensive coordinators I've ever seen. And I'm not saying he should get another head coaching job. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just saying that you have to obviously look at what he did with his scheming against Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and they succeeded. on the biggest stage.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And I was telling J5 before the show, I spent all weekend on Sirius explaining my reasons why Kansas City was going to win. And it basically came down to better coach and better quarterback. And I was wrong on all counts. Todd Bowles, you have to give Todd Bowles a round of applause.
Of course.
Chiefs. And listen, the offensive line was beat up. I understand that, but still just a terrific job. The Tampa Bay coaching staff did a terrific job.
Absolutely. So I see a bunch of folks kind of tuning in that are, asking, is this the regular page and whatnot? Gang, I'm going to leave this to Lou to sort out, but I think that, it really, for Leighton's Loft, it's, the Facebook page of Leighton's Loft. Come chill, hang out with us. You can watch us anywhere, meaning on VB streams and such, but if you want to participate, Lou, correct me if I'm wrong, in the giveaways, you would have to tune in to Leighton's Loft.
Leighton's Loft is where we'd like you to be. Come on over on the Vintage Breaks YouTube, on the Vintage Breaks YouTube and the Vintage Breaks Facebook page. We're there again. You're going to see two streams on those two pages. The one where we're full screen here is the one where your comments will go towards participation in our giveaways. So if you're seeing, I could throw it up here, but if you're seeing that screen, with the chat on the right there, you're on the wrong feed. That's so you can just switch over later and just follow the breaks for the rest of the night. Come to where Leighton's Loft is full screen on Vintage Breaks Facebook and Vintage Breaks YouTube and participate in those chats. And Dougie Fresh is keeping names, so you'll be entered in our giveaways today. Yep,
and today's giveaway, of course, is sponsored by Vintage Breaks and Just Collect. We're going to have 7 prizes in all. First place is going to be a $50 break credit to vintagebreaks.com. Of course, if you spend that by February 28th, Sunday at 10 o'clock, you'll not only get all of the break spots that you buy with that break credit, but you'll also be into our big event that concludes on February 28th at 10 p.m. All the details can be found at event.vintagebreaks.com. Second place is a 1962 Topps football set break spot. Third place is a 65 Topps baseball set break spot. Fourth place is a 1969 Topps baseball set break spot. And the last 3 prizes will be a BAM spot in the Breakamaniacs promotion. Hey, what's up, Dan, Brad, and Ernie, Jason? Thanks for joining us.
I did, however, get into this week. I did get into that the discussion about Brady being the GOAT is over in terms of quarterback. The discussion about Brady being the best NFL player ever is over. Now it's a debate of, is he the best North American athlete in history, or is he the best athlete in history? And that brings in Ruth, that brings in Michael Jordan, that brings in...
I'm not ready to really discuss that yet. And I'm not saying that he is or isn't. I just feel like, we got J5 who's kind enough to give us his time today. I've been keeping him at bay. And so J5, since we just went through the specials for today and we talked about Mr. Brady, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Vintage Breaks and our referral program, because we are getting a lot of new folks to join us from our advertising efforts, whether it be on Facebook or on Instagram, across a variety of different mediums. And one of the really fun things, which I feel like is a secret, if you will, amongst the community, because it's relatively new to the new website, but we just don't talk about it much, is our referral program, Lou. So we have a lot of new folks that have been finding us. We also have a lot of folks that have been with us, our OGs, as we like to call them, for quite some time. And instead of just telling a buddy or telling a colleague about Vintage Breaks and getting them, interested in checking us out, which of course we very much appreciate, well, you can also get a free break credit for doing that. And I want J5 to show on the screen how you do that.
Sure. So everyone who's registered on vintagebreaks.com, if you go into your dashboard after you log in, there's an example of a dashboard, of our dashboard. I hope you guys can see it.
Hang on, I'll put it up here.
There you go. All right, that is someone's dashboard. Bonuses are right there, as you can see. On the left-hand side, if you go under break credit, you click on that, and you're going to see a referral code. Everybody has a unique referral code. This is what you need to give to your friend that you're trying to have to sign up. And if they register and if they spend at least $25, when they check out in the promotional code section, they have to paste this code and apply it and it will reduce their total by $10. And once they finish checking out, a $10 break credit will be added to your dashboard for referring them to us. So instead of saying $21.50, after they check out and complete it, you'll have $31.50 because it's automatically added into your break credit.
Nice.
So that referral code, again, very important. Just copy it, paste it, email it to them, or if you want to tell them on the phone, make sure it's capital REF and then whatever the code is. Again, they have to spend $25 or more during checkout and apply the code. If they don't apply it, nothing will happen. And they check out. Again, if you have issues, just call us, email us. Our phone number is 732-828-2261. And of course, if you have questions about anything shipping wise, on the top right hand side is our shipping email, which M80 is in charge of. Also, our phone number is right there. So don't be shy. Hit us up. We'll be happy to explain everything. If it doesn't work or you have an issue, don't worry. We'll take care of you, and we'll make sure you get your $10 break credit. And also, your friend will also get that.
Now, J5, is there, first of all, for the person who's new and purchasing that they've referred over to us, is it for their first purchase only?
Yes.
Okay, so their first purchase has to be $25 or more.
Yeah.
And then J5, is there any limits? In other words, if Matt Townsend wants to, I don't know, invite everyone from his company and he can get us 100 new customers, are we really going to give Matt Townsend 100 times $10, $1,000 if he gets 100 people to sign up for us?
If Matthew does that, yes, he'll be our VIP for the year. Yes.
Well, look at that. So guys, as you can see, I tossed a few softballs J5's way. What's really cool is there's no limit. So Lou, if it was me and I was industrious and I was trying to earn some free credit, I might see, like, in a respective Facebook group that I'm in that I'm collecting, if people have heard of Vintage Breaks. And, like, obviously you got to check with the admin and see if it's kosher, if it's cool. But, whether it be it's that, if it's your local Elks Club, or, you're into rollerblading or skateboarding, and obviously I'm trying to keep it loose here. But the point is, we as Vintage Breaks are already giving away tons of break credit to new customers. That's part of our secret sauce in getting new folks. Well, I thought it'd be really fun if our existing community could also be rewarded. And this is a great way to do it because you're not limited. So if someone finds 77 people, you can literally get $770 for referring those people to us. As long as they spend $25, they take your referral code, they get $10 off, and you get your $10. So as you can see, it's not a moneymaker for us. It's about developing our community and having as many folks join us and find out about us as possible.
But it's free money for helping a friend out and getting them involved in Vintage Breaks.
Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Rayski, Ernie, and Andy? Thanks for joining us. What's up, Nick? Hey, what's up, Chris? So Chris Coe, I know, Matt, you just mentioned a couple of folks that will appreciate. We just listed a 1957 Topps basketball set break. You want to show off the Bill Russell, J5?
Yep. And
if anyone has any questions about the referral program, you can just hit me up direct. My email is Leighton@justcollect.com.
Why don't you just hold it up to that screen? Yep.
Very cool. A little glare there, but it's a very nice card for a 2. And for those that are kind of curious as to what the current Bill Russell market's like, the cheapest numerical grade on eBay, there's a PSA 3, Lou. I think I'm going to look it up. I believe it's $14,000 for a 3. The Bill Russell market has just gone berserk.
Wow.
Shout out to my friend Jim Chu. So we did a deal a couple of years ago. Hold on one second. I want to speak here. I love looking this up at the same time.
What a nice 2, though. That's
very nice 2. Once again, Lou, it's got, you can see it's got wear, but very, very, yeah. So oh my God. So there's a 3 for $13,800. There's nothing less. There's actually nothing less at all. And so I would argue that's that card could be a 3. But nonetheless, that headlines our first ever 1957 Topps basketball set break. Just went live on VintageBreaks.com today. It's $250 per spot. The Bob Cousy is a 2, but it's a very nice 2. I think there's 2 other cards. Paul Arizin is SGC 5.5, and the Maurice Stokes is a PSA 5.
Yep. Anthony says supply and demand, like all economic.
So I just saw Sean. I appreciate making a joke, but guys, we do not want you to spam other breaking sites with our referral code. Although we appreciate new customers, we want to do it the right way. So, like I said, please, keep it kosher amongst the hobby. We don't want anyone calling, certainly me, and yelling at me. I don't like to be yelled at.
Seeing this such low grades, this is an interesting question from Matthew. How much are they raw? How much do you lose without the grade?
For which cards, Lou?
For the Russell card, for example. Seeing you're only selling 2s and 3s, you talked about 2s and 3s. What if you decided to sell it raw?
I don't advise that, Lou, because not at that dollar value, because I want people to feel comfortable with what they have. And so if I'm someone who does this for a living and looks at that card, and even though I think it may be a 3, it got graded 2. Like I don't take that card and say, hey, sir, it's a 3. They read it, it's a 2. And typically what happens is they're like, oh, it's a nice card. I'm like, yeah, no shit. It should be a 3. But by the time I grade it and get it back, I'm out like $900. Crosby's in college, and the Bill Russell market could be back to where it was 3 years ago. I don't know.
Right.
Thanks for dropping that in there, Dougie. Matt, we are going to do some mixers for the 57 basketball. Great idea. Hey, what's up, Jim? By the way, a little shout out to Karma. How you doing?
Karma Rockets, yeah.
I'm expecting like some sort of contract from Jim, sooner rather than later. I'm willing to be reasonable, Jim, but I'm really working hard for that.
You want to go work, Dougie?
I gotta go.
You want to go work, J5?
Yeah, I gotta go back to work.
Yes. Peace and love, J5. Thanks for explaining the referral program once again. I'm going to put my email in the chat. If anyone has any questions, let me know. But the whole point is, if you guys are telling people about our site and they're signing up, I kind of feel bad that we actually have a program we're willing to reward you. And we wanted to make sure today, we were talking about as a staff, we've had a lot of new customers. We just want to make sure if they're coming from you, like our gang, our OGs, that you folks can get rewarded. That's all.
I think it's a great idea. Mike says,
absolutely.
You're the Brady of the breaker sites, Leighton.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. And, listen, just like Mr. Brady can't do it himself, can't do it without each and every other part of the person that the people that handle the different roles and stuff. So, it's interesting what's going on. I got a lot of stuff to cover, Lou. So I'm going to start to fire through my topics if we could.
Excellent. Let's go.
All right, great. Because it was a lot of fun last week.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in, folks. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Leighton's Loft on Facebook. This way you'll know each and every time we go live. You'll also be eligible for special promotions that are only on Leighton's Loft Facebook page and during our show as well. All right, so here's the deal. We actually, when I say we, Just Collect got some PSA cards back. Not a lot. This is only, by the way, a handful I'm going to show off. But I wanted to let you know kind of what I did when I went through them. I had a few different piles. And I, of course, couldn't wait to go through them. Right. But I have my fixed price pile. I have my I don't know what I'm going to do with pile yet. And then I have my auction pile. And you might say, well, what's the difference? Here's the deal. My fixed price pile is generally for good cards, right? But maybe the liquidity is in question. I'm not saying bad,
right?
But in question. And or I'm not happy. I'm not going to be happy if I auction it based on the research I saw. So I want a little bit above what I've seen for auction prices. Because I believe that card is either undervalued or good eye appeal. Who knows? Next up, Lou, is the miscellaneous pile. And that's the pile, of course, you don't know what to do with yet, but everyone has those. Right. The next pile, which I'm going to show off today, and I only started, is an auction pile. And you may say, well, what do you mean by auction pile? So I don't care if you sell it yourself on eBay, you sell it through PWCC or Probe, or your local mom and pop bookstore that also does eBay consignments, whatever the deal is. What I do with auction cards or how I select them is very simple. If I think they're going to be liquid and I'm going to be relatively happy with the price, I have no reason to do fixed price if I don't really care about the card that much. Hey, what's up, Mark? Thanks for joining us. And, Lou, you don't want to keep every card. So like for me, and by the way, this is not a big stack. So like I can't be like bragging to someone I picked out tons of cards, but I was able to at least whittle these down. These are cards I'm going to put on eBay. When I say auction, I'm going to start them at 99 cents. I'm going to put shipping at $4 or $5, per card. People can combine. And even though to me this is like like breathing every day. Like, this is what I do every day. I figured some people would actually enjoy me sharing this content with you because it may not be so obvious to some folks, and I want to show off the cards. And I have a little bit to say about each one, Lou.
Help them with their own process, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So here's the scoop with the first card. $18 LeBron, right? So it says the Lakers, but he's still in the Cavs. Here's the deal. It's a 10. I'm not going to hold this card to see if LeBron wins the title. And I don't say, like, I don't care. I actually prefer he doesn't win the title. I prefer it to be the Celts. And if it wasn't the Celts, there's a number of other teams before the Lakers. But the thing is, LeBron's not going to ask me. So what my point is like, I'm into this card the right number. And when I say that, I'm not withholding information. I don't actually know. It's just very low because I deal with a lot of cards.
Right.
And I know what it costs me to grade the card. So I know I'm going to make a profit. So my point is, for a 2018 base LeBron James card, which I'm just being very candid, I don't give a shit about.
Right.
You know, I don't care to collect it. I don't care to hold it for my inventory long term. And I'm not putting this card down. This might be a great card to someone else. But I'm saying, though, like, you have to let go. So I've let go of this card. It might sell for 17, 37, 77. But whatever the case is, it's going to be sold. Just underscore collect on eBay that are people that are interested. These are interesting, Lou. I got a few back of 91 Upper Deck International graded Jordans. Oh. Jordans are on fire. I didn't even check the pop. I got my fingers crossed that they're low. Here's the deal. I already have the cards. I've already won. I don't care. And they are super cool. Here's the thing. They're selling, like, Michael Jordan's, like, I'm not saying this is common, but Michael Jordan cards are selling for prices I've never seen. So I don't care what I profit on this. If it's a lot, I'll be, of course, happier. But whatever it is, Lou, I'll absolutely be happier putting that money into anything else.
Right.
Not saying I don't love this card, but I got to take profit somewhere. So I'm going to take it on a low pop international Spanish, I believe it's Spanish, an international Spanish Jordan card, which, once again, for a registry collector, Lou, this may be a must-have. And, I mean, I tell you what, I'll go look at the pop now because it'll be kind of interesting to see.
This is what we've talked about for the last couple of weeks, taking some of these back shelf cards, taking advantage of the high market, and creating an opportunity fund with it that you can spend on something else that'll be of more enjoyment to you.
Yeah, or to be fair, or a better investment, Lou.
Or a better investment, yeah. Well, that'll be more enjoyable too.
Yeah, well, listen, see, I knew you speak my language, Lou. So we get along so well. Upper Deck International. So let's look it up. I have no idea, by the way. I haven't looked. Could be a huge pop. All right, so this is card number 4. Wow, so apparently there's one version, there's 2 versions, there's a Spanish version. There's only 7 10s, only 15 graded. What's it worth? If I had to guess, somewhere between $40 and $200. And what's really crazy, Lou, I would take any of those prices.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a pretty wide range, isn't it?
I don't really know what it's worth. I didn't do any research.
Leighton asks, Raymond asks if you think the 85 Nike promo will gain steam. It's definitely gone up, just not sure why it seems undervalued. I'll
tell you why people think it seems undervalued. It's got a lot going for it. By the way, I love these questions. It's a lot of fun to take a hot take and run with it. So it's got a lot going for it because you have the Nike logo, even though it didn't Nike, and the Nike logo and brand on it, even though Nike didn't make cards really, but they've made almost everything else. It's got the most iconic basketball figure of the last 50 years. Arguably ever, on the card. It's 1 year after his star basketball, but 1 year before his Fleer rookie. So those that are arguing like, well, hey, the Fleer's 86, the Star's 84, but it was only given out in arenas, and the 85 was sold here, and there's all these different theories. Here's the thing. The card's cool as fuck. It really is. I'm just speaking to it straight. I was talking to the guys last night, and I was dropping F-bombs, and I had them like roll last night. So I just figured that's how I'm going to do it today. Right. I've been having a good old time. So my advice is on the Jordan 85. If you dig it, buy it. Like, don't worry about investment. Just buy it because you want to play roulette when you go to the casino because it's gone up a lot. If it ends up going up more, then God bless.
Yep.
But it's not mainstream. And so the one thing I caution folks is, unless someone hoards a market, things that are not mainstream are hard to make mainstream.
Right.
Even the Interlake 85 Jordan, great card. The hedge fund dudes out in Cali that I know, they're buying it because their dad used to be affiliated with the Interlake business. And even then, an 8.5 just sold for $15,000. Seemed cheap. Yeah, did I put up my money to buy it? No. I'm buying other stuff. Because I like to just stick with the blue chips. I go out there.
Yep. Donald's asking what your seller name is on eBay.
just_collect. All right, next up, like I said, I just wanted to run through a couple of these. There's a couple more Jordans. This is number 181. No idea the pop. I don't know that it matters even unless it's like a 1 or a 2. Then it might go crazy.
Yep.
This is Spanish. This is 9. So that's pretty cool. I'll let everyone know what they sell for in a few weeks. This is only a 9. And then this is a 9 hologram. But I don't know if they're that easy to grade. I mean, I'll tell you 1 second. Let's see.
Yeah. Can you get another angle on that so we can see it a little better?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Very reflective.
Oh, there you go. Can you see him now?
Yeah, a little better.
I mean, it's still tough.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just see. Award winner hologram. EB1, Jordan. Well, put it this way. I don't think it's that easy to find.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 92, it's saying. Well, regardless, it's definitely a cool card. Would I keep it if I had all the money in the world? Sure. But I don't, and I think the profit's going to be fair, so it's going to be sold.
Oh, Nick's here now. It's a party.
What up, Nick? So what's up, Chef? Next up, we're going to go through a few more cards. Before we do, shout out to J5. We did close the Missouri Soil Collection, the one I showed off last week with the Jackie Robinson and the Joe DiMaggio. So I chose a card from it, a Joey Medwick. I believe it's from 43 or 41. It's the same series that has a Pee Wee Reese rookie and a DiMaggio and some other guys in there as well. But Ducky Medwick is a Hall of Famer. It is low grade, but it is cool. And we're going to give it away for free, Lou. We'll give you till as much time as you need. Lou's going to ask a baseball trivia question at some point before the end of the show today, and we'll give that away to one lucky winner. All right, Lou, so another thing I wanted to cover today is 1990 Marvel cards.
Okay.
So these are super hot right now for those of you that are not in the know. Now you will be. 1990 Marvel, first series especially, on fire, Lou. And I just happened to, I have a lot of them in a PSA, but I happen to have got this batch back a few months ago. And, I don't really sell stuff until I'm kind of ready. Whatever that means. I'm not sure what it means, but it's, it's worked for me. Hey, what's up, Cody? Welcome.
You feel it. Just going to feel it.
Exactly. So these are really cool cards, and I dig them. And if they were not worth a lot, I would definitely collect them all. But they've got to the price where they're going for now. They're so hot. I'm going to sell probably each and every one of them except for 1 or 2. But realize I'm getting back more, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. These are just very colorful, Lou.
Yep.
Shadow Cat. They're all 10s. By the way, we went 29 for 30, I think. It was really incredible. But there's one card in particular that's worth a lot. The Hulk. So, I might keep that. But then again, if I look this up and this thing's selling for, something over $1,000, I just can't keep it.
Look at that, huh?
It's cool. Okay, so this is a biggie. So the 9s of these, let's see if there's any on eBay. The 9s of those have been selling for $750.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's insane, Lou. I can't tell you it makes any sense. That's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because I want to show people that as much as I love this stuff, you gotta be smart.
With this, obviously, the success of Marvel in the movie theaters over the last decade or so has probably brought the price of these up. It's interesting. You wouldn't think it would normally attach because it's a little bit different than the movie series. People.
You're right, Lou. But I honestly, I just know the industry is so hot. Wow, this is wild. So one sold in January for $1,500. 9s now sell for, I don't want to get this wrong. 9s now sell for $650.
Wow. And
someone just listed a 10, which was not on eBay yesterday, for $5,500. I'm sorry, $6,000.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Do I think this card is cool? Absolutely. This is 1990 Marvel Universe first series. Let me tell you what's going to happen in the next 7 days. I'm going to figure out the best way to sell this. And it's not that I don't like it. I do.
Yep.
I will take a raw card of it. I actually may have more in the PSA. I don't even know. But I can tell you that when they get to that level, I'm not making fun of someone else and their money. I'm just telling you that when they get to this level, I can buy real cards with this.
Yeah.
Or, to be fair, I just went downstairs. My lovely wife, Julie, is helping redo our kitchen.
Yep.
We're trying to do it, whatever this means, the economic way. And all I keep hearing is every part of what we're doing is going over. So I just don't ask.
Yep.
So maybe Mr. Stan Lee will end up in our kitchen.
You do a kitchen once every 20 years. You don't do it the economic way. You go get it done right.
Ooh, Lou, I don't even. I can't even. You're gonna like completely put me on tilt. I can't engage in that today. Anyway, folks. Hey, what's up, David? Really cool card, 1990 Marvel First Series. Hey, Dom, how are you? Hope all is well with you and your family. Tell Jason said what's up. So anyway, guys, like I'm not telling you I think it's accurately priced. I think it's insane. But I'm also not going to tell someone they're insane while they're buying this card from me for potentially thousands of dollars.
Right.
And I won't call them a fool behind their back. I'm just going to say I'm going to put the money to a different use.
Yeah, no. I mean, people collect for the reasons they collect, right?
Absolutely.
Bob says economic way is not possible.
Oh, Jim, don't you worry. We're just starting up in the loft up here, and we're doing shelves. And my wife thought I was kidding, but she hears me talking to her stepdad, Oscar, who's really handy. And shout out to him. I hope he gets well. He had a little fall recently. He's doing well, but he had a little fall. Anyway, Jim, we're making sure we carve out, like, room for the speakers. So I'm going to have, like, I mean, it's not a huge space up here in the loft. And once it's all done, I will give everyone a tour. But right now, there's just too much stuff here.
EJ,
but yeah,
we're waiting for you. EJ.
Hey, what's up, DJ? We're going to be cranking in here, Lou. It's going to be L-Train DJs on Friday nights.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. So anyway, oh, by the way, I really dig the first series holograms.
Ooh.
This is a Silver Surfer.
And this is 90?
This is 1990, man.
When did holograms?
They were hip.
It seems early for holograms, doesn't it?
It was. Lou, you got a keen eye. Like basically 89 Upper Deck and then 1990 Marvel with this. This was hot stuff.
Yeah, Rocco said he loves non-sports. I love non-sports too.
So do I.
I think that's fun.
Just sold the #1 Batman from the 66 Blue Bat set, PSA 7 for $200 today on eBay. Now, Lou, before we keep cranking here, are you ready with your trivia question? You want to wait a little bit?
Yes, I have
We'll give you a few. I got plenty of other stuff.
No, I have a question. What level of question do you want? I have a good one here, and I have a couple. You know, we want to get it quick, right? We want
people to nail it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm ready. You want to give it
All
up?
right, let's do it. First person to get this question correctly is going to win this Joe Ducky Medwick Hall of Famer MP card for the 1940s. It was a strip set. As you can see, it's got some love to it, but it's still a Hall of Fame card from the 40s, and it is free.
This starting pitcher threw a no-hitter and hit 2 home runs in the game.
That's solid, Lou. I like that. It's juicy.
This starting pitcher threw a no-hitter and hit 2 home runs in the game during the no-hitter.
Yeah, Bo was asking about 89 Fleer basketball. 89 Fleer basketball went up, I think, 4 to 6 times in the last 14 days.
Sean
got
it. Sean Dooley.
Sean Dooley, Rick Wise.
Yeah.
Sean Dooley, step on down. You're the next contestant on Leighton's Loft.
Yes. And again, guys, we're aggregating 2 or 3 different chats through a couple different sets of servers. So where it comes up on my screen, it may come up differently on your screen. Sean was the first guy up.
I got a lot of notes here. I gotta keep my stuff straight here, Lou, so I don't have to. Give me a minute. It's very busy. Very busy, which
a lot of you guys had it very good.
Excuse me.
A lot of guys had it very good. I've got some good ones in the future, though. As I told you, I've been collecting them.
All right, so this is the part of the show I was looking forward to. Yeah, we still about 25 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. All right, we're now going to talk about some deals I'm working on. You know, I'm out there getting my hands dirty, and it's been a great deal of fun working with J5, working on leads and stuff. And I want to share an experience I had recently working on a lead. and I can even explain to you what that means, because I guess for some folks they might not even understand what that is actually.
Sure, right.
So when I work on a lead, or J5 works on a lead, it could mean a number of different things. But in general, you're trying to gather information in a concise, easy, transparent way, and it may seem very obvious to all of you. It's not so obvious to all of the people we talk to sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we really do try to get people into our model. And what I mean by our model is this. So we always tell people, we kind of have this little, our rhetoric of, hey, we're going to tell you what we think your stuff's worth. I'm like, oh, that's really nice of you. Like, listen, we're not doing it out of the goodness of our heart.
Right.
Right. To be fair, like if you want to pay for an appraisal for insurance, we can do that for you. That's talk to me. But when it comes to appraisals and you want to do some business, and people often ask, why do you say it like that, Lou? Well, the reason is because that's what we're giving you. We're giving you information for free, and you can do with it whatever you'd like. You don't have to do a deal with us. But a lot of folks, Lou, I know this for a fact, not to name anyone, but they do not give you a value when they see your cards. They simply tell you what they'll pay.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you that makes it right or wrong. I just know that there's no effing way my father would ever sell you his cards if you dealt them that way. And I know, I love my dad. He's a tough cookie. And so if I'm able to sell my dad and then talk to my dad in a way that he would trust me,
right,
who's a tough cookie, that really serves us well. So what we do with everyone, Lou, is...
Father, that was common sense. How can you sell something before you know the worth of it? And not just the worth of the person you're trying to sell it to. You need to know the worth of it.
That's what I would think. Yeah. There's some people, Lou, they made a lot of money on it. They inherited it. They got it cheap. Who knows?
Yep.
They're just willing to sell. And I'm not suggesting like I don't love a good deal, because of course I do.
Right.
However, that's not like a great way for me to scale a business, is what I mean. So we've chosen to scale our business and scale our ability to talk to as many people as we can to have qualified stuff for us, i.e., good vintage collections. And we do it in such a way that we feel like we can give you information and that you're better off, Lou, than before you came to us. So in other words, if all you did was spend a little time on the phone, through email, and you're asking experts from our company to help you, even if you don't sell anything and you've not been billed anything, but you walk away with a spreadsheet or notes and you're like, wow, I didn't know anything about what I have, and I feel like I have a really good idea now what it's worth. That's why we get a lot of people to come back to us.
Right.
Really sell that collection.
And what you're doing there is you're establishing trust and competence, because you give them what it's worth, and presumably they go take a look around. They find out, you know what? He was straight with me. That's what it's worth. He was straight and he knew his job.
Yep. Exactly. So anyway, it's all leading up to this story that I wanted to tell, but you're going to see, hopefully it'll be, worth a few pennies to you folks, and at the very least be entertained. I was talking about it last night. I don't know that I'll be doing as good of a job. I was a little punchy last night after a long day, but still having fun with everybody. Hope you all are having a good time as well. And I wanted to share with you, it's a $100,000 deal I'm working on, and I certainly don't take those lightly. And so I wanted to share with folks kind of what transpired with it. Okay. So when I work on a deal, I've given you some background already. Lou, guess what? I'm now in the part where I have to value the cards, right? And so I explained, it's only 12, 15 cards. So this is not a voluminous collection. It's expensive, right? It's worth a lot.
Yep.
But it's something I can tackle, and I don't need J5 to do, it's worth a lot. I can do it easily. So I just handled it.
Yep.
So first thing I say to the gentleman, it's like a gentleman, and I think it's maybe involves his son as well. And so the first thing I say to him is, hey, what are you hoping for? So, and he said, oh, I'm considering selling the cards. And I said, great. So basically, Lou, what I did was I set him up as, hey, we may not do any business, but no matter what, we're going to tell you what your cards are worth.
Right.
And you don't have to believe us, but you can check it out if you'd like yourself and then come back to us. So, Lou, the next thing, which is like the most crucial, but J5's laughing if he's watching, it's so hard to get people to listen to you when you talk to them like this. So, by the way, sir, when I tell you what your cards are worth, it's not what I can pay you.
Right.
It's what they're worth. Now, everyone has a different ability to go get the value of their cards. In other words, if you're me, probably a little bit easier for me to go sell those cards for $100,000
Right.
than you. That being said, I don't play games, Lou. I try to tell them what their cards are worth, roughly.
Right.
So, we go through, and I mean, I'm like super excited because, the guy's an older gentleman, but we're connecting, and I think he's following me pretty well. So then we go over the valuation, and he's like, I swear to God, I'm like thinking, this is fantastic. We're gonna have a deal today.
Yep.
He goes, that's about what I thought they were worth.
Yep.
Lou, when I hear that, I'm like an 800 hitter. I mean, I'm being serious now.
Yep.
Yeah, listen, I got about 15, 17 minutes left, and I know that some of this is, if you will, self-serving, but I hope you guys can appreciate, I'm not dropping the name of my company, Just Collect, every 2 seconds, and putting the website, justcollect.com, every 2 seconds, but that was for those who are listening after, Lou.
Yep.
And by the way, if you are listening afterwards to our podcast, it's still a lot of fun, and it's a blast, but if you want to win any one of 7 prizes on a weekly basis, you got to tune in live with us every week on Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. With me and Lou, Leighton's Loft. It's a hoot, so check us out. So anyway, Lou, we get to this point of $100,000, and once again, I'm like using a round number. It might have been 105,
sure,
but it was six figures. So we get there, and so we start talking, and like we're talking about good stuff. So for example, hey, I'm not going to come to you. But you can get me the cards one of 2 ways. Like he's not down the street, let's say.
Right.
I don't want to certainly reveal where he's at. But if you want to ship me the cards, you can do it on our FedEx account free of charge. We'll explain to you how and why they're insured, and you'll have peace of mind.
Right.
And I can already tell this guy was not shipping. And he was making it very clear. He's like, you're making me nervous. And I said, Here's the thing. And I'll just call him sir. Sir, I don't convince people to ship. I'm simply explaining to you options.
Yeah, I don't count $100,000 in the mail either.
And I don't blame him. So I said, here's the thing. Your other option, which used to be different, would have been I fly to you. Totally happy to come to where you are. Seems like a cool place. We'll do it, real quick, and I'll advertise for the weekend I'm buying, right? Here's the deal. I don't have any vaccine, haven't flown, very protective of my family and certainly my son, who's only 6, with his deal. And basically, you want to come to us? We'll get you at the airport at Newark. You wear your mask. You'll come to our office, which is 30 minutes away. You tell me if you want cash, cashier's check, wire, check from the company, whatever you want. You want Indian wampum? I'll give you that. It might take me a little extra time to get this. So anyway, and by the way, this today, I mean, I'm curious what everyone thinks of this content afterwards. I had the office rolling yesterday. I didn't really get into the funny stuff, but I'm going to start to cut loose in a little bit here. So we get to, you're right. I should definitely write justcollect.com, the part behind it. But here's the deal. That's how uncommercial I am. I'd rather have you guys have a nice, view of the background, and like meanwhile I'm like losing, valuable marketing dollars. But meanwhile, in 2 weeks you may see it.
Todd wants you to pay in Bitcoin.
Absolutely. So anyway, hey, what's up, Melch? Excited about to getting your package. We'll show off live on air when we get it in. So anyway, Lou, we're getting down to like the nitty gritty. Like he's asking good questions about how we're going to make this work and stuff. I'm thinking this is fucking fantastic. Like I did the work. You're listening. I'm not bullshitting you. You're not bullshitting me. Meaning I'm not flying to you. Like you can tell me whatever you want unless you're giving me the stuff for free. In which case, if you are, I'll get a buddy where you are to pick it up, and I'll go see him whenever. I don't really care.
Yep.
But I know that's not possible, right?
You can send me late, and I'll go. I don't care.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Lou, so we get down to it, and then he's like, all right, blah, 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 we're moving forward. I go, wait a minute. I didn't tell you what I'd pay.
Right.
He goes, what are you talking about? I said, I told you what the cards are worth. Now I was going to tell you what I would pay for them. And so with no exaggeration, we're going to use the 100,000 because it's just easier, right? The round number, but it might, I think it was like 105, but just 100. So I say to him, I'm willing to pay. I'm like with a straight face, very, I mean, you can see this is how I talk to people.
Yep.
Having a good time, but like I'm also with money, very serious. So I say to him, I will pay you 70 to 80%, which once again, using the 100,000 as the basis, which is 70 to 80,000 in your pocket. And the range, just so you know, sir, is for the quality of the cards. Because as much as you're giving me scans, let's be honest, when there's only 15 cards, as our good buddy Chris Code knows about eye appeal, if I look at a $20,000 PSA card and you're like, oh my God, there's a print dot that I missed, or Lou, there's I don't know, a crease or a wrinkle that didn't appear when well, that makes a big difference.
Sure.
So basically, we get to that, and then it was very interesting. He started. Once again, I thought we were going to kind of like reach an agreement, because he's like, well, why so much less? And I said, well, first of all, sir, I explained to you that these are what the cards are worth.
Yep. And
basically, he actually answered some of his own questions. It was great. He's like, oh, well, where would you sell them if I didn't sell them to you? So I said, great. This is where you sell them. Yourself on eBay, an auction house, and I explained to him like how all of them, which all are great, nothing is better than a bird in hand.
Right.
Having your cash in hand. Oh, absolutely, right. Especially on graded. So basically, he then, in like lockstep, I'm thinking we're moving in a great direction, Lou, says, wait a minute. So if you take off 12% for eBay PayPal, or 15% from, an auction house, and I'm making it up using $100,000, you're getting down now. I'm only going to get, 82,000, 85,000. I'm like, and what I'm offering you, sir, is 70 to 80 with no risk. So you don't have to put them out there, and God willing, that day there's a bomb dropped in Iraq, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but that's not good for fucking business.
Right.
Let me tell you that right now. So anyway, we get through it all, and he goes, I just can't wrap my mind around what you're saying. And I said, and now I'm going to have some fun with it here, because it's just us, meaning I'm live. I understand that. And if he listens, I'm happy to still talk to him. I really am. But this is the part where I'm going to have some fun. I'm talking to the gang last night. So I don't know if there's going to be a deal. At this point, I don't think there is. And if there is a deal, I'll certainly let you know. So basically, he's like, if my cards are worth $100,000, why aren't you paying me $100,000? And I'm thinking, sir, do you think that I work for free?
Right.
And I know I have a lovely face. And some people think I'm Billy Vaughn, Vince's brother. But the reality of it is, I'm not even good enough. Forget about to play second base for the Yankees. Right. I don't even know if I can start at second anymore in softball. There's some freaking young, spring chickens in their 20s. They're going to whip my ass.
Right.
So my career is this.
Yep.
I don't fuck around.
Why would I take it at the sell price and then sell it and make no money?
So last night I had the guys balling, Lou. So I'm thinking, you know what, sir? You're right. I have a new business. I get people full retail. I'm going to start working for free.
Yeah.
It's going to be all about content. What does Leighton pay? Leighton pays not 100%. I pay 110%. What does that mean, Leighton? That means if the cards are worth $100,000, you're such a good person. I'm going to give you $110.
Yep.
Like, what do you think? What's wrong with you? And by the way, I'm not talking to the person in this capacity, in this fashion, right? Yep. But I'm having some fun with the staff, and we're talking about it. And the reality of it is, there is no, I wanted to say to him on the phone, and this is kind of what I'm getting to here. There's only 2 more fucking increments till 100%, meaning 70 to 80, then 80 to 90, then 90 to 100.
Yep.
So I appreciate you laughing, Lou. So my point is, this is when I know I'm not going to necessarily convert this one.
Yeah.
Meaning even though we've reached an agreement on value, something got lost in the Chinese food or the, who knows. But at the end of the day, when someone has a number in their mind, it's something I also don't do, Lou. I don't try to convince people. Sir, you should take $80,000.
Yeah.
No. I can talk about it now and have fun with it because this is my podcast, right? But I don't talk like that to people. I don't convince them. I give them information. I try to be as transparent as possible. Listen, always have money on hand, meaning we don't have to tell people if we reach a deal for $100,000. There's some people who are I can pay you in 3 weeks, or I can pay you over 3 weeks. I can pay you today. Come via plane today. We'll have the money for you waiting, whatever you'd like. The point is that the one thing that I would love to know from the community standpoint is what are we missing when we're transactional with each other? And this is, you'll see where I'm going to, kind of tie it all together. be considerate of people, whether it be it's on the buy sell trade board, on Vintage Breaks Facebook page. I think personally on eBay, even though I know it's virtual, I have a tip for you, by the way, also for eBay, card shows and stuff, because even though I'm not going to reach a deal likely with this gentleman and his family, at the end of the day, I really did have some fun talking to the office about it. But like, basically, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to give you $100,000, and the market could go up, it could go down. Yeah. I'm not going to take your cards and then charge someone more than the market's worth, because that's the only way at that point I could make money.
Right.
So I used that to try to explain to him why I couldn't pay $100,000, and he's like, "Oh, so how do I get $100,000?" And I literally, he said this at the end, I literally felt like it was Abbott and Costello. I go, you know, the Who's on First routine?
Yep.
I go, that's what you're missing. You don't do this for a living, so you really can't get $100,000. It doesn't work like that. They're worth $100,000, provided all the circumstances are correct and such.
Yep.
But unless you know someone who'll give you $100,000 in cash, wampum cash, there's going to be fees. There's going to be a broker. There's going to be an auction house.
Yep.
And if you have figured out a way to avoid that, and you get $100,000, you should write a blog about it. It's going to be great content. You can help others, you know, avoid, you know, fees and stuff. But I don't think there's much room between 70 and 80 and 100% of value.
I don't understand. You said he was an older gentleman, right?
Well, I mean, an older gentleman, yeah.
You just have to wonder what his background is, because everyone, you get to a certain point, everyone understands the idea of margins, right? Everyone understands that you're asking somebody to do a service for you, or, you know, no matter how he sells the cards, he thinks you're just a direct sale, that you're going to sell it.
Well, that's exactly it. But you know what? And Ben asked a great question, and I'll quote him here. He says, "Well, if he was an older guy, perhaps it's as simple as old age and not just being able to absorb the information given to you." Sure, and Ben, I'm certainly not trying to be disrespectful of someone older. I also conferred with his son, who's similar in age to me, so I'm not picking on the older gentleman. They're both very well aware. I'd argue that they're not only both in control of their faculties, they seem to be, you know, much smarter than me, as they're going to make a lot of money on their return. But I am saying this, though. I believe, and I'm going to say this respectfully, people hear what they want to hear when it comes to money. So, for example, in real estate, it's already known that you pay generally a broker to help you with your home. Now, you can do it on your own. Right. There's a ton of issues and really fun stuff that comes with that. But brokers' fees, I guess they run, what, 1 to 3, 4%, give or take, whatever it is. But that's a known thing, that if your house is $800,000 and the broker takes 3 points, you're going to lose $24,000 to the broker. Yep. Right? That's how it works.
Yep.
Why would it be different in any other asset, that if your asset's worth $100,000, $800,000, that you would simply just do it for free? By the way, if the gentleman had someone to pay $100,000, he would have already sold them.
Right.
So
I'm betting with Mike here. I'm betting with Mike. He's going to come back to you.
Oh, and so guys, this is what I was going to close with.
Yep.
This is what's interesting about the journey of being a baseball card, treasure hunter, is that the reason why my percentage is so high, I don't necessarily bat 800 the first time, but I have an excellent percentage when we reach a deal on valuation, because I don't screw around. Pardon my French, as I say, dick around. Yep. But I've already dropped about 8 F-bombs today. So the point is, Lou, no one's going to come back to me and say, wow, Leighton really tried to lowball me. They might say Leighton didn't pay the most because some guy paid 80 to 90. Okay. Lou, I can tell you, if I got beat out by someone who pays 80 to 90, like, I could live with myself.
Yep. But he doesn't understand. I mean, there's a lot he doesn't understand. But can you imagine trying to sell those cards individually on eBay yourself, and the types of offers you would get? You've got people who are going to pay 5 figures for a card. They're not going to take the face value of it. They're going to try to, they're going to try.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ben, I think that sounds like you're a real nice fella. And I understand looking at the glass is like half full. I'm telling you that I've had people who, let's just say, I don't know if they played dumb, and I'm not saying this gentleman was playing dumb. Listen, people hear what they want.
Yeah.
That's why I document things. So, like, for example, I often do follow-ups when I talk to people on the phone. And I literally said to that gentleman in the follow-up email of the eval, this is what your stuff is worth. I called it gross retail value. Yeah. This is our offer to buy. Like, my wife's an attorney. I'm not saying I draft everything like that. What I'm saying is I don't think there was a misunderstanding. I think people hear what they want. And just like, if someone goes to, I don't know, a restaurant and you're like, hey, can I have the flounder? And they're like, you're out of flounder. Like, what do you mean you're out of flounder? You're a restaurant, you sell flounder, it's on your menu. Well, if you're an easygoing fella, you're like, oh, I guess you're out of flounder tonight. I'll have the codfish or, the lobster.
Yep.
Someone else who's not easygoing. What the fuck? You don't have my flounder? I came all the way from Mississippi, which is 3 hours away, and I want a free fucking meal. You don't have. I'm just saying, like, it could go any way.
Yep.
So this is what I want to close with. We have about 3 minutes. It won't be enough justice. I saw something great on Twitter in regards to valuations. There's a lot of information going around right now about fractional ownership and all sorts of just really interesting, stuff like in regards to deal making, right? And valuation, Lou. Like, in other words, hey, this item's coming up for fractional share ownership. So, this card is worth this. So this is what the share should sell for, so on and so forth.
Right.
And I saw a beautiful line the other day when I was reading this, and I shared it with the office last night because J5 and I have been working a lot on leads together, which is very busy. And like I said, grateful for it.
Yep.
So we see something, and I read it. It was a longer thread, but I'm going to summarize it in a sentence, and we'll talk about it for about a minute or two. That talking about something other than the dollar, right? So whether it be it's pottery, it's a Barbie doll, a baseball card, an automobile, even for that matter, real estate, fine, but not so much real estate. Basically, valuation is more of an art than a science.
Yep.
And it sounds really weird even when you say it, and I'm sure if you were talking to someone who's like super book smart, went to Harvard, they're like, Leighton, are you off your rocker? No effing way. No, if you value stuff, there's a science, there's data, and there's lots of, empirical data to support what the value is worth. And so, I just don't agree with that. And I agree more with that. It is an art versus a science, because just from this little anecdotal story I told you about this gentleman and his family that I'm dealing with on their small graded card collection, which, hopefully it'll be funny if we get it and we'll have him on one day. We'll talk about it. We'll see what,
Yep.
To me, that's some of the best content. So, the reality of it is, like, if I simply said to him like a robot, your cards are worth this, what do you want for them?
Right.
Like, not only would we not have a deal, but you'd never make any money.
Right.
And so, talking about the art versus science, like, J5's a little bit more calm than me. I'm certainly a little bit more knowledgeable and maybe, enthusiastic in terms of like getting crazy. We both have our way and style, but the point is it's the art of it, not the science, that gets us to close the deals. Because I'm saying to you that oftentimes the science, i.e. the numbers, are very black and white. You can't change them. But yet I can't convince someone you should take less than it's worth.
Right.
And I realize it's not my job. That's why we're telling the story, because I thought it was funny. But kudos to whether it be J5. There's lots of other really good deal makers out there, in our hobby.
Right.
And Lou, when I read it, it hit me like a ton of bricks in a good way. It is more of an art than a science, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Because of that.
But when you have people who don't have the basic adult reality of quote unquote cost of doing business, I mean, people have to, there are some costs involved in reselling the cards. I mean, this is basic concepts that you need to have as an adult. I mean, if you've lived in this world for X amount of years, you understand there's a cost of doing business, right?
Once again, Lou, you can call it whatever you like. Exactly. Call it cost of doing business. I was trying to be very specific because I wanted the gentleman to trust me. And I didn't want to say, for example, hey, it's just the cost of doing the business. So what the hell does that mean?
Right.
So I tried to be very specific about these are all of your options. Like, I wouldn't stop you from doing that. I can tell you I'm not going to walk you through how to sell it on eBay. I would charge you for my time. It would be a lot of money. And, to be honest, I don't want to really even do that.
Right.
It's just so interesting to me that it just really hit me. It's very much, an art versus a science. Kudos, like I said, to J5 and others out there that are, trying to, to do deals. It's certainly fun. It's interesting. It's an experience. And it was fun to talk about today for the last little bit. I see a bunch of questions and stuff. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get through all of them because I kind of went, off of my little story. But it's like, this is what I live, and in a good way, meaning I love it. And I mean, we reach deals literally every day. But when it comes to the bigger deals, of course, everyone wants them. And I'm sure from that gentleman's standpoint, well, hey, Leighton, let's just say, for example, I pay 80 grand and you can get 100. Well, you're going to make 20 grand? Well, no, I'm not going to make 20 grand. I'm going to make 20 grand in your transaction if you subtract 100 minus 80. Like, you think that, this beautiful face doesn't cost any upkeep? Right. You know what I mean? Or like, the staff doesn't,
right.
Take, money to operate and pay, or the office, or, whatever the case may be. And to be fair, there's also risk to every transaction. So like, the stuff's worth 100 grand today. What if I pay you? And once again, I don't mean to be over dramatic, but there's like a terrorist attack in the world, or just something that sways what the value is that next day.
Right.
But it's been a lot of fun today on Vintage Breaks and talking about Just Collect here on Leighton's Loft. I hope you all enjoyed it. I did, talking about it.
Yeah, good crowd today. We had a good crowd. Everyone was vocal and participating. We love that. That's why I love getting together with this group every week. So we hope you come back every week, and you can check us out on, if you've just come in late, you can check us out on audio only podcasts on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Thanks, Lou. So parting words here. I watched the movie Real Player One because Chris Coe told me to watch it for a variety of reasons, and I did. And so I'm certainly no video game creator, but we're going to start to place these little nuggets of information in various different podcasts, broadcasts, etc. Sometimes we're going to put information out on Facebook, Instagram, and we're going to ask people at some point later on either a question or set of questions, and depending on your ability to answer them, you're going to maybe get, a key, and what's that key to unlock? A really cool prize, or, it's going to be kind of fun. So everyone knows we've always talked about Swedish fish in here. What's my favorite flavor? It is grape.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk about pizza, which I'm very much craving now. My personal favorite pizza is Vezzo, Vezzo in New York City. It's thin crust. It's on like 30th, 31st and Lex. My wife thinks I'm freaking insane. We would go to the city, and no joke, we'll be like at 55th and 9th. Like, we did something uptown, we're now in Midtown.
Yep.
And, she's like, yeah, where do you think you should eat? I'm like, I don't know, let's go to Vezzo. And she's like, yeah, but it's all the way, downtown and across. She's like, do you even know where you are? I'm like, I'm in New York City, baby. And I'm like, all we have to do is take an Uber or a cab, or, freaking, I don't know. There's all sorts of 17 different ways to get there.
Will you eat any other pizza? Because I have a local pizza shop that I love, and it's ruined me for all of the other pizza. I won't grab pizza except.
Well, here's the deal. I will eat other pizza, but I'm very snooty.
Yeah.
So, like, if we go to like a kid's birthday party, and like the mom's like, "Oh, have some pizza,"
yeah,
I look at it and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. That's shit pizza.
Yep.
That's cost $7 for a pie. I'm not saying $7 has to be expensive. I'm just saying it looks like very bad New Jersey pizza. I don't want it. But thank you anyway. I really appreciate it. I'm hungry. But I will try. Like, if I came up to your place, Lou, and you're like, "Late, you got to try. This is amazing pizza."
Oh yeah.
And I love it. I would eat tons of it. I just don't like to eat shitty pizza. That's really it.
Yep. Yeah.
But as my wife says, when you're 6 years old like Crosby, even though he's been trained by me now, he knows John's Pizza in the city. He knows Vezzo. He doesn't know them. He just knows it's good pizza. You could tell. He gives it the 2 thumbs up. That's how I know.
So is this one of these nuggets of information we should keep note of?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. My favorite pizza place in New York City is Vezzo. Check it out. It will be used later on. Let's give away the 7 prizes today. Roll the dice. 6 times.
We can add, we get, whoop. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we got anyone manning the fort here. Doug, are you with us?
I hope it means Luke. Yeah, I hope it means
it happens. I sat down and they threw me in the stream. I don't know what's happening.
Vezzo with a V.
I have absolutely no idea why I'm here. What's up,
nice
guys?
job sitting down right at the perfect time. Good job.
This was not planned.
We want to do the giveaways for today.
Okay, Dougie, can I have the list?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting, Brian. I'll definitely hit you up for some pizza recommendations. I hope I have a Buffalo deal because I can probably take a train there. It's wild out there right now.
That's a bold statement, right
All
there.
right, I emailed you the list.
What's that?
Pizza from Buffalo is the best
Awesome.
pizza in the world.
Eden, Mark, what's going on? Once again, I don't play or hate. Like, just show me the goods.
Yep.
You want me to try it? I'll know in like 3 bites, 2 bites. I'm not sure I'm as good as the guy from Barstool.
You emailed this.
Shout out to our friend Alexa G. Hopefully we have a new show coming soon, Chicken and Cards, on the Vintage Breaks Network. I'm really excited about that. She went to the Heat game last night, Knicks, in Miami, and she opened a pack live on her TikTok with the kid. The kid was like over the moon. I mean, think about it. You got some girl approaching you who's like 20 years older than you. You've already won.
Yep.
Right? The kid's like 12. So, and then she's like, here's free basketball cards. It's almost like if the mom was watching, like, don't take candy from a stranger, Jimmy. It was really funny.
All right. We're going to roll our dice and randomize.
6 times, my friend.
6, you got it. 1, 2, 3.
When's
4,
Card Chat with L Train coming out here? I'm
8,
holding my calendar.
So Lou will be talking soon, but a big shout out to Ben Wolfen. We've hired him. He's going to be joining our team full time to be handling like all sorts of Vintage Break social media efforts.
Nice.
And he's trying to negotiate with me the contract for the Card Chat. And I said, I don't know if you have enough money for that. We'll see. But I know he's excited about it. We're really excited to have him on the team. We'll certainly keep everyone posted.
Excellent.
But yeah, Lou, there's just so much to talk about in the card world these days. There's no way 60 minutes a week is enough.
Everything's so hot, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
all right, so we have our top 7.
Great.
Ben Diaz, Chef.
Great.
Ken Binowitz, Alex George, Brian Wilson, Danny Casvier, Mike Rosado.
Congrats, guys. $25 break credit, 62 football, 65, 67 baseball, 3 BAM spots. Thanks for tuning in today to Leighton's Loft. Appreciate you all. Have a great week. Stay tuned for Vintage Breaks North. They'll be breaking now till 9:30 p.m. And then Sir Charles and Vintage Breaks West will be taking over for the wee hours of today. Thanks, everybody.